Hello everybody and welcome back to SkySaga Alpha 9. We are over here on the Lumostone Island and we're going to keep working on this place today. Obviously, for those of you who missed last week's episode, we're working on a little bit of a brand new project. This project is going to be a Lumostone showcase island. So the plan here is that this little castle that you see behind me is going to be a Lumostone showcase. Now, it's not just going to be this, but it is also going to have a section out over the front here, probably going to knock off part of the island as well, that is going to take up a whole bunch of room and actually show off how to build some of the smaller kind of intricate pieces and details of Lumostone. And then once we've done all of those things, you'll be able to run over through into here and run through this castle build, and the castle is going to have all sorts of like little Lumostone puzzles and bits and pieces. And what I'm thinking right now is that the center area is going to be kind of king for this. So we're going to have some form of system where pressure plates that I'm going to sit down in the center area are going to allow you through these 6 doors that are going to be around the place, or 5 doors at the end of the day, because this guy is going to be the entrance into this thing. So this needs to be open at all times. And then once you've done all kind of 6 puzzles or whatever it is you need to do, this door out here is going to open up and we're going to go through and find some kind of interesting thing back there. Now, I'm not really sure exactly what I'm going to put back there yet. We'll have to have a bit of a think about that over the course of this episode. Hopefully we can come up with something interesting. Anyway, for those of you who saw the last episode, I have started changing this place around. So I am currently going through changing all of the grey stone over to blue stone, as you can see. So we changed all of the spiral and all of the second floor as well, but now I need to go through, do all the doorways and the props and the runners and things. But I'm getting to that point where I actually need to start rebuilding this island from scratch, or rebuilding this castle from relative scratch, because as you can see, this level up here is pretty dead right now. We've got 3 of the 4 corners actually existing and no roofs or anything like that, so we need to go through, fix all of that stuff up. Also going down along the way here, we're all going to be filling this out with the props we got from the treasured keystone last time. So got plenty of props over in this chest. I'm thinking that the top run is going to be fixed up, and we're going to run some canopies and things down there. I'm not sure how many of those canopies I've got. I thought I got a lot more than what I've got in this chest, so I might have to go through and make some if I can't find all the canopies I thought I had. Anyway, lots of work to do around here today, so let's get cracking. So here we go, we've got most of the grey stone converted over into blue stone. Not that in some cases you're actually going to be able to see that too much until we get the lighting sorted out around this place, but we've replaced all the doorways. I've even started work on the upper section up here, because there was a small sliver of grey stone running across here, which in my mind meant that it was supposed to run all the way along all 4 sides here, kind of making a like top extra area. So just like this little ring down the bottom here. So I've kind of now started moving up towards the top section. I'm hoping to get the main square complete and back to quote unquote normal first, because that one shouldn't be too hard to do. So in here we've got these little corner pieces, and these little corner pieces are all going to be exactly the same. They're going to look exactly like this, and then they're going to have a canopy placed in them. So I've worked on 2 of these already and got these 2 back to fighting fit, good conditions. So we've got another 2 that we need to build up to get to the old school system. Once we've done that, we're going to place down a milkstone walkway that runs between all of these. Technically there should be a set of stairs coming up from somewhere. I'm not sure if I'm going to do that. I might have my set of stairs actually coming up inside of here, or I might use an elevator, because of course this is going to be a Lumostone island, so there is going to be some good stuff cracking on through here. Now, the other thing that I've been doing is, while I've been working on through all of this stuff, I've been thinking about what we use as the end of this this puzzle, what we use as the kind of reward end goal for a person running through this puzzle. Now, while I've been doing this, I have been kind of floating around on the forums, and somebody reposted the link to SkySaga the dev team's video on Lumostone and what they hope to achieve with Lumostone and all of that kind of stuff. And while I was watching through that, I got a little bit of inspiration. But rather than just tell you what my inspiration was, I think I'm going to let Ben Fisher from the SkySaga dev team take it away.
It's going to be a sort of disco wonderland.
So that's my inspiration. We are going for a disco wonderland just because I love the sound of that personally. So that is going to be built in today's episode. Now, of course, that little clip that I just showed is not my clip. It is SkySaga's clip. I will leave links in the description down below to the full video. If you haven't seen that video yet, I would highly recommend checking it out. As always, everything the dev team puts out is awesome, so you should jump over there, check that out, see what they've said about Lumostone, see what they've said about the future of Lumostone. There's a couple of really cool little hints at what they want to produce there, and I'm not going to spoil the video for you guys. I want you guys to go over there and have a quick look at this because it is so good, and they have some really, really cool plans for Lumostone in the future. So yeah, check that out. Like I said, link down in the description. Also, if you're not already subscribed to their channel, you probably should be. But anyway, that's enough talking about that. We have a disco wonderland to produce, so let's get cracking on with this. I am probably going to, yeah, like I said, finish off the main section of this castle first. We'll work out the doors and everything after we've got the structure of this castle relatively well back together. Once we've got the structure done, then we can start sorting out Lumostone. But I just had to show you that clip because I am really, really keen to go through and build a disco wonderland. I'm ready. Let's do it. So I just have to pull up here a second and say a huge thank you to Serenti Cat. She is absolutely awesome. She's come through and she had all 4 of the recipes for all of these decorative tiles. Now apparently a couple of these are quite difficult to get your hands on, and when I looked in my own inventory and rucksack and things, I only had the recipe for 1 of them. So I could not have finished this without her help. This is absolutely amazing. She's come along and built all of the rest of the decorative tiles that we needed, so this thing is actually looking really complete. And I'm just so happy with it. Thank you again, Serenti Cat. That was great. Now, because this is so nice and finished, we're definitely going to have the center of the puzzle happening here. And we're going to be running a pressure plate off the middle here. Now, for those of you who saw the tutorial this week, I looked at a sequencer, is what I called it. So the sequencer is going to sit down the middle here, or we're going to have a pressure plate that runs a sequencer down the middle here. And that is going to run all of the doors. So you're never going to be able to get into more than one section of this build at a time. It's going to be, yeah, one little bit, and that's all you've got all the way through this build and all the way through this castle, I guess. So that's kind of the plan for this, and yeah, definitely now that this thing is filled out and looking great, that we're definitely going to go through and do that. Yeah, so anyway, that's more talk about Lumostone. First we need to get the castle done, so let's get the castle done, get the castle finished, and then we can pimp this place out. And there we go, the top is now mostly in place. There's a few little bits of vine and things I need to go through and clean out. Although it seems the vine is spawning in every time I jump out of the world and jump back in again, because this section up here, this didn't exist before, and now it has vine growing all over it. So there might not be anything I can do about this. It might just end up having vine all the way through my build. Yeah, definitely. There's vine here where I didn't have even anything there before. So, oh well, this looks like we are going to have certain bits of vine throughout the build, and we're just going to have to cope with that. On top of the midsection, the middle section of the build I should say, I've also finished off one of the towers, so we're going to copy and repeat this pattern across to each of the other towers. So they're going to go 3 windows up, and then we're going to have a little bit of space, and then we're going to have a roof in up the top here. Once again, this roof space and this other roof space up here are not places you're ever going to be able to get to when you're actually using this build, so they're just for us, and yeah, they're just there to look nice so far. So I'm going to crack on. I've got 5 more of these towers to go. Once those 5 towers are in place, then this build will really start to get moving on through here. So yeah, the next thing I think after those towers is going to be going through, placing down some lighting, placing down some decor items, widening out the doors to make sure I can fit Lumostone doors in all of the door places that I want those, and just, yeah, fixing up. I also need to fix up these little entrance pathways as well, because all of those are a bit cracked and broken. Yeah, see over here we don't even really have anything. This one is probably the worst one of the lot, so we're gonna have to do something about that too. So let's get cracking. Okay, so here we go. We now have all of the towers complete. We've got this side all done, and this side over here as well. And then we should be able to see, even just from the map, that the other side is also complete. So these guys are all done. We are ready to move on and add a bit of Lumostone. And I think actually first we're going to go ahead and do some stuff with some decor items, because of course I went through and spent all that time collecting them last week, so we should actually put some of those to a little bit of use. There are some in here. I think we're going to start with some pillar sections, replace some of the pillars that we've got going on around inside with actual pillar sections. I think that will look pretty cool, because we've got all these like blue pillars and things that are holding up doorways and so on and so forth, so we should be able to replace all of those with pillar sections, and yeah, it should look pretty good. So I'm going to go through and do some of that. I also need to sit down and work out where the actual Lumostone door can fit and where it can't fit. Oh, that's perfect. This thing fits exactly where I wanted it to fit. Without having to modify anything or do anything else, I'm going to be able to fit all of the Lumostone doors in place. Oh, that is so cool. This one might need... I think this one I've actually accidentally messed up. I think I need to take one layer of stone out of here, and then we should be okay to fit the door in place. So there we go. Beautiful. That was completely unintentional, but that worked out really, really well. So let's quickly go ahead and pick this guy up. Probably going to end up changing these door colors, because at the moment they're white and white, but I think I'm going to go buy some blue of that ichor and go ahead and place that down. So there is still a few little bits and pieces to do. I need to place doors in the actual doorways, and I need to create the roof level or the second level, the floor for the second level, because as you can see right now, it's a very sharp drop off with nothing else really to do. The other plan here too is to have extra doors here. These are probably just going to be regular open and close type doors, not Lumostone doors, and they're going to block you from getting into the kind of top section up here before you've opened this door. So all of those doors are going to be hooked together, so you can only get into this top floor section when you're actually at the right point, or have all of the Lumostone stuff set to the right stuff. Then also I'm thinking that the output, I'm going to have, say, 8 lights down here, 4 and 4, and you're going to have to turn all 8 lights on to get the door to open. That's going to be the way this whole thing goes. Then we'll see how we, see if I can find 8 different puzzle pieces to actually put together and do around here. So it looks like I have my work well and truly cut out for me. Let's go ahead, place down all the Lumostone stuff, and get cracking on this. Okay, this place is looking so much better. So I've basically just gone through and replaced some of the pillar sections, or replaced the stone that was being used as pillars with pillar sections. I've also gone through and replaced all of the candles. So the candles have been replaced with these guys, which are little stone beacons, or with these guys, which are little oil lamps. Now, I've also gone through and placed in all of the doors that you can see around the place here. So we've got our doors top and bottom, and these are blue and white doors, because I've now gone and got myself some blue ichor so that we can do some more work around here. But yeah, I think this place is looking pretty good right now. I've decided that I'm going to try and add the Lumostone as I go, almost, just so that I can get some stuff working. And I do need to build the door out through the back here. That's probably the next trick, I would say, to getting all of this stuff working. But it seems as though this is coming along pretty well right now, because I've got the 2 doors in place. I still do need to place the floors in above all of the entranceways. I'm thinking that only the bottom down here, only this one is going to be an actual entranceway, and I'm thinking that over here I'm just going to kind of wall this off a little bit. I've also been thinking too that when you come in through the bottom, you're going to be able to go left and right, and potentially even up the stairs too. So that's going to be a lot of space, whereas I have only got a little bit of space if I decide to wall this off. I've only got a little bit of space in there. So what I'm thinking is I might do the top side gets 1 tower, and the bottom side gets the other tower, if that makes sense. So there are going to be two doors sitting in these gaps that are linked with Lumostone, so you can't open and close them unless the Lumostone is activated. So that means that when this door opens, that door down there will open, and that door there will shut, and this door down here will shut as well. And that door up there is going to shut too, just because it might as well be shut. So it will mean that when you come down into this area, you'll get this area, then you'll also get the run up through here into this other tower, and you'll be able to use, I'll be able to use this space as well to add stuff. And then when you open that door, you'll have this top section and then the other side as well. So this whole part of this tower, and then downstairs in here too. Oh, and there's some extra bones that I forgot to pick up along the way. So yeah, there you go. That's the current plan of what we're going to do. I'm also thinking that I might be digging out a little hollow underneath this castle and putting all the Lumostone into that hollow, because that way I don't have to worry about where all the Lumostone gates are and things, because I do kind of want to show this guy off as a public version, as a private version at some point in the near future, but there'll be more details about that later on. So yeah, we'll probably, like I said, bury all the Lumostone. It's actually going to be a little bit easier than I first thought, because we can build all the Lumostone underground and then drag the key pieces up through a hole with us, and they'll keep all of their connections and things, and that will be perfectly fine for getting this place working. So yeah, also you can see now as we kind of transition into nighttime here, I've tinted all of this stuff green, so all of these lamps and lights and things are all green, and I really like this. It looks really, really cool coming into nighttime. So here you go. This project is now, it's really starting to come together now, and I am really, really happy with this. There is one thing that I do still need to do, and that is to add a pad of dirt out through the front here, but I think we're going to wait until after I've got all of this stuff sorted out so that we can move the airship and do all of that in one big go. I've now done a small amount of Lumostone work, so as you can see, this door is now open as we kind of wander on through here, and we've got a pressure plate sitting right in the middle of our little pattern on the ground, and you can also see just quickly there a little hole as well. So obviously we've still got all the doors and things around the place, but if we come over here and step on this pressure plate, we'll see that this door closes, this door opens, and we step on here again. You should see, well, I think I've got my sequence out of order. Okay, I stepped on the pressure plate twice. So it's supposed to go this door, that door, that door. Actually, we can just reset this pretty quickly. We can just pull a line off here, and that will reset all of the island's Lumostone, and we should be good to go. So let's have a quick look at this again. So we stand on here once, and that will swap it over to this door. Stand on here again. That will swap it over to that door. Once more, it's going to go up in the middle, just up there, and then cycle round the top as well, just over there, and then over to that side, and then finally, if we jump back down on this pressure plate, you see, ends up back at the start again. So this thing is all set up. This is just a little sequencer, as I did in the tutorial this week, and all the way down in the base down here is where I've hooked up all the Lumostone. So there's a whole bunch of Lumostone down here. This is just a 6-long sequence, and then over here I've got a little setup to do the output lights. So that's the next trick I'm going to do, is we're actually going to set up, and this is not where I wanted to go. There's a whole bunch of mud up here, so I was collecting up a bit of that as well, because it's going to be useful potentially for some form of puzzle or something at some point. So yeah, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to set up the doorway over here. I'm not exactly sure what I'm going to do for the doorway. I might see if I can get a couple of doors in here, but they might be a little bit too wide. We'll see. So that's going to be the next trick, to set that up, and that's going to be hooked up to all of those latches down there. And then each of these doors is going to have its own little puzzle behind it. So we have a quick look through this door over here, because that's the door I opened. I haven't yet sealed off this entrance, but that's the one of the next things that's going to happen. And yeah, we're going to have the upstairs and the downstairs sections. So the upstairs section is now complete too. So this is pretty small, which is exactly why I decided that one of the towers is going to be linked to the top, and one of the towers, which is probably going to be the right one, is going to be linked to the bottom. So the next trick, I guess, is actually to get more doors out. and place some more doors down and link all of those doors to the same latches that run all of the big Lumostone doors, because basically what we want when this door is open, the corresponding doors inside are going to be open to let you through and let you into all of these things. So still got lots of Lumostoning to do, but once we've got the basic structure of this stuff done, I think that's probably going to be where I end building this on camera, just because I don't want to give away too much of the puzzles and things that I'm going to build to actually make this interesting and unique and yeah, worth having a look at, because I kind of want you guys to come over here and have a try of this yourselves, see how the Lumostone works and all that kind of stuff. That's exactly what this is about. It is supposed to be a showcase island, so yeah, you are supposed to try this out for yourself and see what you can do with it. Anyway, let's go through and put down some more doors, get some more stuff going, and see what we can do about putting down the output, because I do want to start and maybe even just show you a little bit of the disco setup that we're going to have in behind here. Also, before we end today, I do want to build a little pad out over the back here where I can do some very basic stuff like the rising edge and falling edge pulses and things, and have those as a big display for you guys to see how they all work. Anyway, let's crack on and do some more Lumostoning. Alright, so the Lumostone has now been all wired up correctly, so if we come on in through here, we can have a look around. All these doors are closed as before, so we've only got the one door open. But now inside here, if we have a quick look, we've got one gate on one side that we can't get through. We have one gate that we can get through, and that lets us all the way up to here. Then we have one gate as well that we can't get through. So that's beautiful, perfect, that's everything we wanted from this. And just quickly, this system does work on the other doors as well, so just quickly step on this pressure plate and open this door. As you can see, it also opens that door, lets us up over this side, if I can get all the way up here. And there we go. Also, other quick side note, I have placed other gates here. These are also hooked up to Lumostone, so you can't open them. And in actual fact, they're just hooked up to an end gate with no other inputs, which means that these things are never, ever, ever going to come open. And you also... Oh, no, apparently you can jump over the top of them. I might need to do a quick fix for that, because I thought you weren't able to, but apparently you can. So that's a little bit interesting. You shouldn't... I see how you're able to do that. It's because player is not quite one wide and a fence is not quite one wide, so you can just get in through that gap. Okay. Well, we're gonna have to fix that up a little bit. I'm guessing we'll probably just do that. Makes it look a little bit worse and makes it look like a little blocky, I guess, but for the moment that's as good as that is gonna get. And I really, really want to keep those gates there and stop you from being able to get in and out through the top here. I mean, I don't think you can get in, but I don't want you getting out either, because that's just going to mess up the puzzles and things. Although, having said that, I haven't finished all of the windowing around here, so you can still jump out through the windows at the moment. Also, speaking of a way out, we have the other door in now, the final door. It's actually not hooked up to anything yet, but it will be hooked up to something soon. In actual fact, let's just go down and hook it up to our massive AND gates now, because that will mean... So here we go, this is our big massive AND gates, and I'm not even sure if I've hooked these up. Yes, I have indeed hooked these up. So if we grab hold of the AND gate output and fly it all the way up, that will do that door. Now, it won't be usable for the moment until I get these other 6 inputs done, but those are going to be done off camera, so you guys don't quite see what's going on around here. Although there may be something coming up in the next few days that will ruin all that for you anyway. But that's all good. You'll see that potentially in the next few days. Check out the forums and the SkySaga Twitch to see what I'm talking about. Anyway, moving on to the rest of this stuff. So I've used a couple of blueprints now to lay down a gigantic white stone pad out the back here. This is going to be a bit of a testing area, or just like a single circuit area, I guess I should say. So what we're going to do is we're going to have stuff like the rising edge pulse and the AND gates and things, just very basic stuff put down here. And I have a bit of an idea for how to make that usable on a public island, but I really am running out of time to record this episode, so I'm probably going to end up doing that not next week because I'm away, but the following week we will actually come back here and do a bit of a quick finish off and tidy up around the place. And yeah, then this will be a bit of a Lumostone showcase for you guys to come along and have a bit of a look at how everything is working and how all the things that I do kind of go into an actual build. Yeah, so I think, as I said, I am running out of time for this episode, so I think we're gonna have to leave the episode here. I hope you guys have enjoyed that one, and I will see you in the next video.